We will begin our Word textbook project by clicking on the link in our Moodle course. Click Start on the Assignment Overview page. We will need to download the Start file and the support files. I am going to create another folder for Word in my CIS folder. Open your Start file, click Enable. Go back to Cengage and open the project instructions. The instructions are given to us differently this time as it is not a file. It opens the textbook that you will need to read and do the project as you go. I will be splitting my screen again to share both my working file and the instructions for you. You can do this by having one window active and pressing the Windows key and the selected arrow for which side you want that window to display. Then click which window you want to view beside of it. One thing I want to mention before we jump in, when we split our screen like this, the Word window is compressed and will not look exactly like it does in the examples in the textbook at full screen. If while you are searching for a button in the ribbon and you are having a hard time finding it, try maximizing the Word window by clicking the Maximize button in the top right corner of the window. This will expand the options on the ribbon so you may find the options easier. Let's begin. As you move through the textbook project, there are a lot of steps you are asked to take to learn where the location and function is in Word. I will not be going over these in the video. I will ask you to pause the video while you read and restart the video when you come to a specific section in the textbook. You can open the table of contents by clicking the icon in the top left corner of the page. Here you can see multiple sections of the textbook. I will identify the sections by the section's alphanumeric number listed beside the section title. For example, WD 1-1. Go ahead and click section WD 1-1. You should pause the video here and begin your reading. Restart the video once you reach WD 1-3. For our project, we will be creating a flyer in Word. Section WD 1-3 has an image of what our final flyer will look like. I want to remind you of what I mentioned in the Getting Started project video. If you make a mistake early in the project, it will have a cascade effect causing other steps that were done correctly wrong. For example, in the headline of this flyer, the text "Wash your hands" has an exclamation mark. If you happen to leave the exclamation mark off when you type the text in, there is a good chance that the steps you do after the exclamation mark will be counted incorrectly if they were correctly done. You will need to find the issue and correct that issue and resubmit your project. In most cases, this corrects the other grading issues as well. Always pay close attention to the details and compare your project with the image. Things we will be learning in this project are: start and use Word, enter text in a document, format the text in the flyer, insert and format a picture in the flyer, enhance the layout of the flyer on the page, correct errors, and revise text in the flyer. Section WD 1-4 through WD 1-4A describes how to start the Word application and create a blank file. We do this differently than the text asks. We do this by opening our Start file provided by Cengage. Although you should read through the material, you do not need to perform any of the steps provided in these sections. Pause the video here and continue reading WD 1-4B and WD 1-4C to become familiar with the different components of Word. Perform the steps the text asks you to perform so you become familiar with the application. Restart the video when you reach section WD 1-4D. In section WD 1-4B, the text introduced you to the Word window and some of its major components: the scroll bar, the status bar, the ribbon, including the ribbon's main and contextual tabs. It explains what some of these tabs do and what displays when clicked or hovered over with a mouse, such as displaying a gallery or a tooltip. The text also introduces the search box, the quick access toolbar, and the shortcut menus. Section WD 1-4D introduces us to the Layout tab and how to adjust the margins for our document. Word is preset to use 8.5 by 11 inch paper with 1 inch top, bottom, left, and right margins. But there are times when we want more or less room on the page. For these cases, we can adjust the margins to suit our needs. Clicking the Layout tab, then Margins, will display the Margins gallery. You can see there are several preset options available. There is also an option to create custom margins. Our flyer design requires us to use the Narrow Margin preset. Click the Narrow Margin preset now to change the margins of our document to 0.5 inches for the top, bottom, left, and right of the page. WD 1-5A begins to instruct us on how to insert text in our flyer. Pay attention to the details. Spelling and punctuation are important and will be counted incorrectly if not corrected. Type "Wash your hands" with the exclamation mark in the first line of the document. This is referred to as the headline. Press Enter to move the insertion point to the next line. Please pause the video and continue reading until you reach section WD 1-5E. The last sections introduced you to changing the page view via the zoom function to make your document easier to view, the formatting mark button to show non-printed characters like spaces and returns, and the word wrap function that allows you to type words in a paragraph continually without pressing Enter at the end of each line. Section WD 1-5E asks us to add more text to our flyer and to observe the character marks once we do so. Please type the text in your document. If you want to copy and paste the text, be sure you right-click and select Text Only so you do not copy over any formatting from the textbook to your document. Once our text is in our document, notice the dots between the words. This character represents a space. Also notice that the word germs could not fit on the previous line, therefore word wrap dropped it to the next line. Once we press Enter, we will see a paragraph mark at the end of our first sentence and at the beginning of our new line. It is possible that your instance of word wrap wrapped the text differently than mine. If that is the case, it is okay. Leave it as it is. Word can wrap differently based on different factors. Continue reading through WD 1-5F to learn about the spelling and grammar check, and meet me back here for WD 1-5G. Our insertion point should be on the line below the sentence ending in food. Type or copy and paste the text in each step, pressing Enter where indicated. If typing, be sure to type the text as is. Do not correct the spelling at this point. We need the incorrect spelling and grammar for the lesson. Section WD 1-5F explained a red wavy underline means the flag text is not in the Word's dictionary, and this may be because it is a proper noun or may be misspelled. A blue double underline indicates the text may be incorrect grammatically. A purple dotted line indicates that Word can present a suggestion for more concise writing or different word usage. In section WD 1-5H, we will observe these in our document and demonstrate ways to correct spelling and grammar errors using suggestions from Word. Right-click on the first wavy line. In my document, it is clean, spelled with an E. Select the correct word from the suggestions in the shortcut menu. In this case, clean, C-L-E-A-N, with no E. Next, look for the double blue line, which suggests grammatical error. We have for, F-O-R-E, spelled differently than the for, F-O-R, which is the intended use that we need. Right-click and select the correct spelling. Click on the dotted purple line and select Off from the Word Conciseness suggestion list. Finally, we will delete a duplicate word. Right-click on the underlined OR in the last line and delete the repeated word. Continue to section WD 1-5I, where we will insert a blank line after the sentence ending in dryer. To do this with the cursor beside the period in the sentence, press Enter 2 times. We will enter more text in section WD 1-5J, and you will need to finish reading section WD 1-5J through WD 1-5K. In section WD 1-5L, we will save our document for the first time. The text asks us to save it as unformatted, but there's really no reason we can't go ahead and save the file with the expected file name from Cengage. Let's take a look at Cengage to see what the expected file name is. The expected file name is listed in the second section of the Cengage assignment page. We can copy this name on this page as it is generated specifically for us. Go back to your document and click File, Save As, and paste the file name in the file name box. Delete the .docx if you have copied that over. Click Save. Finish reading the text in section 1-5L through WD 1-6A. Meet me back on section WD-6B. Section WD 1-6 is all about formatting our flyer. WD 1-6 gave us an overview of paragraph and character formatting, and WD 1-6A goes into a little more detail about fonts and font sizes. Most of the tools used to change the formatting of fonts and paragraphs are located on the Home tab in the corresponding groups. Styles are named collections of character and paragraph formats, including font, font size, font styles, font color, and alignment, that are stored together and can be applied to text to format it quickly, such as our heading 1 or our title. Themes are coordinated combinations of formats for fonts, colors, pictures, and other objects in Word. By changing the document theme, we quickly can give our document a new look. We can also define our own document themes. Section WD 1-6B, we will be changing our document theme. One cool piece of information on this page that may interest you if you like to design things like flyers or posters is the different types of font groups. Sans serif and serif. Sans comes from the French word meaning without, and serif, although its origins are unknown, means a line or a pen stroke. Let's take a closer look at the two different fonts. Notice the top font is Calibri. This is a sans serif font, meaning without a pen stroke. The second font is a serif font, Times New Roman, that does have a pen stroke. Let's hop back to our textbook and format our flyer. We will be applying the theme gallery to our flyer. Click the arrow under Themes, and when you hover your mouse over the different tiles, you'll see the live preview to the text in the document. Most notably, you can see the changes in our colors to the links. Find the gallery theme and click it. Section WD 1-6C, we will center our headline, Wash Your Hands. Click anywhere in the headline and click the Home tab. On the Home tab, locate the paragraph group and click the Center button. Section WD 1-6D, we will also center the next line of our text beginning with washing your hands. Click anywhere within the sentence and click the Center Paragraph button. Please read sections WD 1-6E and WD 1-6F. Meet me back at section WD 1-6G. We can format different objects in Word. We can format one letter in a word, one word in a sentence, or an entire sentence. We are going to format our headline, Wash Your Hands, using the mini toolbar that displays when we select the text. Now, there are several ways to do this. Obviously, you can do this with the text selected and use the functions in the ribbon, but to spice it up, we will do it this way. Select the text, Wash Your Hands, and click the arrow beside the font size. Choose 36. Section WD 1-6H asks that we change the font to Rockwell Extra Bold. Click the font arrow to display the different types of fonts installed on your computer. As we scroll through the list, we can hover over some to see the live preview in action. Find Rockwell Extra Bold and click on it. Section WD 1-6I, we will use the Word function to change the text of our headline. If we hover over the big A, little a button, we can verify this is the correct function to use. Click the arrow to see the different options available. There is a sentence case, which is what is default for Word. Only the first word of a sentence and proper nouns are capitalized and the rest are lowercase. Lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and toggle case that switches up the capitalized case, making all uppercase lowercase and vice versa. We will use uppercase to change all of our letters to capital letters. Moving to section WD 1-6J, we will apply a text effect. With our text still selected, look in the Home tab and locate the Text Effect and Typography button. It looks like a glowing blue A. Hover over some and see what it makes your text look like. We need to locate the white outline, red accent, color 1, glow red, accent color 1. If you hover over the effect, you can read its description. Ours is the fourth text effect in the second row. It should match what the image in the textbook displays. Next, in section WD 1-6K, we will shade the paragraph that contains our headlines. Click anywhere within the paragraph and select the arrow beside the shading button in the paragraph group. You can experiment with the colors using the live preview, but be sure to click the purple accent 4 darker 25%. Is the 8th color in the 5th row. Read section WD 1-6L, then join me in section WD 1-6M to change the font color of the selected text. We will select the entire sentence, washing your hands with soap and water, ending with food. Notice any time we select text, our mini toolbar pops up to be helpful to us. Select the font color arrow in the font group and choose Indigo Accent 5 darker 25%. It's the 9th color in the 5th row. Next, in section WD 1-6N, change the same selected text to font size 22. Click the font size arrow and select 22. Click anywhere in the document to deselect the text. Read section WD 1-60 to learn how to change the zoom level, and meet me back for WD 1-6P. We will be formatting the rest of the flyer in this step. Go ahead and select all the sentences from How to Tips. Notice my pointer changed the closer I got to the left margin. This is called the block pointer and enables me to select several lines at a time. It really doesn't matter how you select the text, as long as you make sure you select all the required text. Change the font size from 11 to 20. WD 1-6R shows us how to use the numbered lists. We will highlight the text between how and when, and select the numbered list button, which will use the default numbered list format. Read section WD 1-6S to learn how you can use the undo and redo actions, and meet me back at section WD 1-6T. Next, we will use a bulleted list. We will select the text between when and visit. Click the bulleted list button, which will use the default bulleted list. If you click the arrow beside the button, you can see the different formats that can be used. Please read section WD 1-6U and continue the video when you reach WD 1-6V. As WD 1-6U explained, Word can automatically format certain objects of your document as you type. Sometimes, though, we may not want the formatting. For example, the link in our flyer is formatted as a hyperlink, and we need to remove that. To do so, right-click in the hyperlink and select Remove Hyperlink. You can see this removes the underline, and you can no longer click that link to open a website. If the text remains colored and underlined, change the color to automatic and remove the underline using the tools in the font group on the Home tab. Continue to section 1-6W to center the signature line, and in WD 1-6X we will use the mini toolbar again to change the font size to 18 and the font color to Indigo Accent 5, darker 25%. This is the 9th color in the 5th row. In section WD 1-6Y, we will select the words Additional Hand Washing Tips, and in section WD 1-6Z, we will underline this text. Next, in section WD 1-6AA, we will italicize the text Prevent. This will emphasize the word for readers. We will now select non-adjacent text and format that text to bold. These steps are in sections WD 1-6AB and WD 1-6AC. We will need to use our Control key on our keyboard in order to select text that is not right beside each other. Go ahead and select the word wet. Then, with the Control key pressed on the keyboard, continue to select the other text, lather, scrub, rinse, and dry. Make this text bold by selecting the bold button in the font group on the Home tab. WD 1-6AD displays a nice table with various techniques for selecting text. Try a few out. We now need to save our changes. We have gone ahead and changed the file name to Formatted earlier in the video. If you haven't yet, follow the directions in section WD 1-6AE, but be sure you use the expected file name that is displayed in Cengage. Otherwise, you can just click the Save icon at the top of your Word window, and you can verify your file name by clicking the file in the title bar. It is time to use the support file we downloaded at the beginning of the lesson. We will insert our picture, reduce the size of the picture, and change its look. We will start in section WD 1-7A and continue on through WD 1-7F. We will prepare its position by clicking in the blank line before When and centering it. Next, we will insert the picture from File by clicking the Insert tab and then the Pictures button in the Illustration group. Click this device to display the Insert Picture dialog box. Navigate to where you saved the image that was downloaded from Cengage. Select the image, click the Insert button. Next, we will change the zoom level to 1 page so we can view the document in its entirety. Click View, the arrow under Zoom if your window is compressed, and select 1 page. Now we need to resize our picture, but we want to be sure to keep the aspect ratio correct. Hover your pointer in the lower left corner of the picture so that the pointer shape changes to a 2-headed arrow. This is our sizing handle. Drag the handle in until the entire flyer is on 1 page again, and then release the mouse button. Do this slowly or you risk turning the picture upside down. The text states that our picture should have the height of 2 inches and the width of about 3. When we have our picture selected, our ribbon displays a new tab titled Picture Format. We can look in the size group of this tab and see our dimensions. Right now mine says it's 2.38 inches high and 3.56 inches wide. I'm going to click the expand icon so you can see all the options here. Make sure that the checkbox is checked by the lock aspect ratio and go ahead and change that height to 2 inches. Next, we will apply picture style. With our picture still selected, select the arrow beside Quick Styles. This will display the gallery. Find Snip Diagonal Corner White and apply it to the picture by clicking it. Next, we will apply a picture effect. Click the square-looking button in the Picture Styles group on the right side in the middle. This will display the effect menu. Point to Shadow to display the shadow gallery, and then select Perspective upper left. Notice the Picture Format tab disappears when we click anywhere in the document to deselect the picture. Section WD 1-8 will describe how we can enhance our flyer. Read the information on 1-8 and we will go through the steps in sections WD 1-8A through 1-8E. First, we will change the theme colors. Themes are a named set of complementary colors for text, backgrounds, accents, and links in our document. Click the Design tab and then click the arrow under Colors. Choose Blue 2. Notice the colors of our document have changed. Next, we will add a page border. Click the Page Borders to display the Borders and Shadings dialog box. Click Box in the Settings list to select the border setting. Scroll all the way to the bottom of the Style list, then count up 3 to select the border the text directs us to use. Click the color arrow to display a color palette. Click Turquoise Accent 3, darker 25%. It's the 7th color in the 5th row. Click OK. Next, we will change the spacing before and after paragraphs. Position your cursor in the word How. Click the Layout tab and click the Spacing After down arrow in the paragraph group as many times as needed until it reaches 0. Now place the cursor in the word When and click the Spacing After arrow until it reaches 0 as well. Next, place the cursor in the signature line and click the Spacing Before Up arrow until it reaches 12. We will add some data to the document properties by clicking File on the ribbon, then click Info. Click to the right of the Comments property in the Properties list and then type CIS 101 Assignment in the Comments text box. Click the Back button to return to the document window. Save your changes. Next in our project, we will correct any errors and revise our document. We usually make changes to our document when we need to modify, add, or delete text. We will be doing so in the next few sections. We will begin in section WD 1-9B through WD 1-9L. If your document is not open, please follow the steps in section 1-9B now to do so. Locate the first sentence under How and place your cursor before Apply. Type the word Then and press the space bar. WD 1-9E explains the Office Clipboard is a temporary storage area in the computer's memory that will allow you to paste items to your current document or any other document type. To copy an object is to select it and place a copy of the selected object on the Office Clipboard, leaving the item in its original location. Cutting an object is the same process, but it removes the object from the original location, and pasting is the action of placing the cut or copied object. In section WD 1-9F, we will delete or cut text. Select the word Then. Press the Cut button on the Home tab in the Clipboard group, or by right-clicking the word and selecting Cut. Next, in section WD 1-9G, we will copy the text clean and paste the text before Towel in the fifth sentence. Notice that there are 4 paste options available for you. Keep source formatting means the pasted item should look the same as it did in the original location. The Merge formatting option instructs Word to paste the text to match the rest of the items where it is being placed. The Picture button places the item as an image, and the last option, Text Only, places the object without any formatting at all. Keep in mind that the buttons shown in the Paste Options menu will vary depending on the item being pasted. We will learn how to move text a short distance without copy and pasting in section WD 1-9I. This is referred to as drag and drop. We will move an item by selecting it and dragging it to its desired destination. Select the text before, during, and after preparing food, and drag the insertion point before the A in the first bullet and release your mouse. Before, during, and after is now the first sentence in our bulleted list. Sections WD 1-9J and WD 1-9K want you to know about the different types of layouts we can choose in Word to display our document. We can find these layouts on the View tab in the Views group. You can also find these views at the bottom of the Word window. There is a read mode that you may want to use if you are not composing or editing a document. This is good if you are just reading information. The print layout is most common as it mimics what the document will look like when printed. Outline and draft views are also available and will be explained in a later section. Please read WD 1-9M through WD 1-10E. These sections hold important information that will explain how to print a document and how to use Help in Word, as well as the search box, which is a really handy function. At this point, let us save our changes to the document and upload it to Cengage. There will be a few mistakes in our document, and I want to show you examples of how we need to fix these mistakes and re-upload to Cengage. When finished with the textbook project, we should have a document in our Word folder with the same name specified in Cengage. Return to the SAM Textbook Project page and you will click to browse files in the Save Work to SAM section. You may also drag and drop your file here. Ensure no errors appear. If you receive an error message, be sure your project file name is the same as the expected file name in Cengage. Click Submit in the Submit for Grade section. If accepted, you will see a green box with a check mark. After submitting, Cengage generates a graded summary report we will need to download and open to see what mistakes our file may have in it. Your report may have different mistakes in it than mine, but we can look at the graded summary report to see which mistakes we have made and fix those mistakes in our original document. If your original document is not already open, please open that document now. You can see the mistakes Cengage counted wrong by reading the text in red. For example, our first mistake says that the text scrub hands should be entered immediately after the text lather hands. We will adjust our view to be able to see the summary report and our original document. Now, as you can see, our sentence is where it should be, so there is something in the sentence or missing from the sentence that is causing Cengage to not recognize it. We must find out what this is. In this case, we are missing our period. Next, Cengage says that clean with an E needs to be replaced with the correct spelling of clean. We can see that this is correct in our document, so this could be a cascade effect that I mentioned earlier from the missing period. Let's save our document and re-upload our assignment and download a new summary report. The new report will have a 1 appended to the file name. Open this report. We can see that the original mistakes are gone, however, we have a new mistake now. The text before, during, and after should be entered into the document. We can see that that sentence is there, so there is an error causing Cengage not to read the sentence. Let's find out what that is. It took me a little bit to find this mistake. I had to scroll to the actual mistake in the summary report and read the comment and compare that to what I had typed. I missed a comma after during. Let's add that comma back, save your changes, resubmit your document, and download the new summary report. This time I have corrected all the errors and have made a 100%. If you have additional errors, look over the comments in the summary report and fix in the original document. Resubmit your assignment and download another report. This concludes the Word Textbook project. You will be completing the other Word project on your own.